This is a story for the green please for the kids. My name's Rachel Shields, and through my grandmother's line I'm a descendant of the Wailwaan and Gamilaraay people from northwest region of New South Wales in Australia. I'm a storyteller, singer-songwriter, and I share cultural education here with young people about nature. How to care for country, how to care for yourself in nature, and how to recognise that all of nature is alive and talking to us all the time. So this is a bilingual dreaming story about the Yuluwurri Gaayli, or the rainbow child. So Nainiouman was dreaming by the roots of an old fig doodle, by the roots of an old fig tree. In her Yuluwurri Gaayli, in her dream, she was speaking to the waters of the river, to the waters of the Bagai. They spoke of the language of love. The Bagai, the river, told Nainiouman that the Yugal, that the song of love could be heard in all things. Nainiouman spoke to the gully. She spoke to the waters of how she wished to hear and speak all the languages of love. Deep in the mubal of the gully, deep in the belly of the waters, Guria, rainbow serpent, was listening to Nainiouman and the Bagai and the river talking. Well, the Bagai sang, Gunare, Gunare, and called upon Guria, called upon rainbow serpent to help Nainiouman learn all the languages of love. Guria began to stir. He spoke to Nainiouman in her Yuluwurri Gaayli. He spoke to her in her dream and told her that he would gather all the songs for love from across the land and bring them back to her. He emerged from the Bagai, from the river, and began the long, long journey. Through rainforest country, he spoke to the Dulu, he spoke to the trees and to the creeks. Mountain country opened its story as the serpent moved through, and all were happy to share their yugul, happy to share their song of love. Guria travelled and travelled across many lands. Rainbow serpent travelled and travelled across many lands. The Gurain, the flowers danced all the colours of love in ceremony for the serpent. The Digara tribe, the bird tribe, danced all the calls and colours of love. He listened to the spirit of the Yuluwurri, to the spirit of the sacred fire as it spoke of the law of love. He felt the power of love in the flow of the waterfalls. Guria had travelled far. It was now time for him to rest and wait for the wind, for the Mayara, to bring him the last yugul, the last song of love. So he went back to the Bagai, to the river, to wait for that song. He found that Nainiouman was by the river. He had been away for a long time. She was now preparing to give birth, for she was with child. So Coya gently gathered himself in a protective coil around Nainiouman, and he glowed all the colours of his Yuluwurri, all the colours of his rainbow onto her. It was now time. The Maira, the wind, had arrived, and the child was ready to be born. As the child breathed its first puliro, the Maira, the wind, sang into its breath the last yugu, the last song of love. The child grew to walk freely throughout the lands. She was in harmony with all tribes, and she could hear the yugu, the song of love in all things. This was the gift her mother Nainiouman had wished for. And this is the gift Coya, rainbow serpent, had blessed her with. And this is the story of the Yuluwurri Gaayli, the story of the rainbow child. So the story is really about listening to nature and approaching all things with love and caring for the beauty of the earth that we all call home.